I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to the News du Jour, a calmer space to consume the news. So today is a really strange news day. A lot of these stories, I have 3 stories for you guys. However, they're kind of start and stop type energy. Some of the stories, I don't have a ton of information yet. And one of them is kind of like a non-story story. You'll understand once I get into it, but I just wanted to give you the heads up. It was a slow news day, and these are the things that I think you need to know about, but they're a little choppy, for lack of a better word, but let's get into it. So, first story, I do have to issue a content warning here. This story involves a shooting. There was a shooting in New Mexico. Now, it doesn't qualify as a mass shooting because I believe the threshold is 4 people, and while there were more than 4 people shot, one of them was the assailant themselves. So anyway, there is a shooting in New Mexico. 3 civilians have been confirmed to be dead. One of those was the assailant, and then 2 police officers were also injured in a shootout with the armed suspect. Now, we don't have very much information beyond that. Schools were locked down for a brief period, but got back up and running once they realized, the suspect had been killed. And while this is such a tragic event, we don't have any more information as to who is involved or, any of the details right now. So just wanted to let you guys know that happened, as it is obviously very important, but we don't have a ton of detail. And for our next story, we are going to discuss the John Durham Report. So John Durham was a man appointed by the Trump administration, and he just put out an exhaustive 300-page report on the subject of whether or not the FBI was right to look into the Trump administration's connections to Russia back in 2016. John Durham concluded that Trump should not have been looked into by the FBI. However, a similar report that was actually put out in 2019 by someone not appointed by Trump, that person came to the exact opposite conclusion. So this story really comes out to be a big bunch of nothing, and it's the exact type of thing that I hate to report on, because it's essentially he said, and the exact type of thing that will distract us from more important stories. So I want to let you guys know what the Durham Report was all about and what it is, but given the skew of this report, I just feel like, and the fact that there's another report that contradicts it directly, it's hard to say, the accuracy of this situation, if it's accurate at all. Ugh, woof. I hate this kind of news day. Oh my gosh. This is so rare. But anyway, I just wanted to issue a content warning for this story. This story does involve a physical attack. So, a Virginia congressional office was attacked, and this story is a little more complete than the others, but in Virginia, a congressman's office was attacked by a man with a baseball bat. 2 staff members had to be hospitalized following this attack. The office belonged to a man named Representative Jerry Connolly, who is a Democrat. The assailant went to the office and asked to speak with the congressman. When the staff let him know that the congressman was not available, that's when he began attacking them with the baseball bat. I have to say, this story does hit a little close to home for me personally, as I have worked in more than one congressional office, and very many times I have had to tell constituents that they could not just walk in and speak to the congressman or senator. That's not really how it works. Obviously, this is not the first time in recent years, though, that we've seen elected officials, particularly Democratic ones, facing violence. Nancy Pelosi's husband suffered a skull fracture at the hands of an armed intruder who was looking to break his wife's kneecaps. There was an attempt to kidnap the governor of Michigan, and lest we forget, the lives of everyone in Congress, especially Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence, on January 6th were threatened, and it continues on. Our intelligence communities have also, of course, let us know that online chatter has been more violent as of late, and there are more direct threats being made to our law officials than ever before. This dark underbelly of American politics is really coming more and more to the surface these days, and it's horrifying, no matter who is being threatened. We are supposed to be the country that exemplifies political stability, dignity, morality, sort of a higher bar. And what we're looking at is definitely not that. And that for today, you guys, is the news du jour. I wanted to let you know about these stories as they are important, but I apologize for the stop and start nature of this episode. And with that, today I wanted to leave you guys with the simple quote, "Let it be." If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use to listen. A rate and review or shout out on social media would mean the world to us and help us be able to keep creating the news du jour. But the best way to support all of our work is to become a patron at www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram and just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.